I want to talk about this idea of dysmorphia. We call it dysmorphic disorder, but it's been taken over by trans issues. But what I want to talk about is the degree to which these obsessions with the body maybe really aren't psychological in nature. Maybe they're sociological, sometimes they're about status, sometimes they're just about artistry. There were genetic mutations along the way. And the mutations are either because nature itself selected for certain features. Sometimes it's not really the climate that's calling out certain features, but really selection. People in certain areas just are more attracted to certain features. And sometimes it's just chance. That there's a mutation in our bodies, and it's just chance. What I see when I look in a mirror is just... I want to talk about this idea of dysmorphia. We call it dysmorphic disorder. It's a new thing that we're talking about a lot. I mean, this word, and in a way, this word has been really kind of taken over, not in a bad way, right? But it's been taken over by the conversation that we're having around trans issues and people who are non-binary and people who are transitioning. You feel obsessed by something about your body, like something that's just like, for you, it's really uncomfortable. It feels wrong. It could be a single body part. It could be in the common, these conversations that we're having today, these days, we're talking very much about people who feel like they're really in the wrong body, like their body doesn't match their gender, their conception of gender. And that has sort of taken over the conversation with this word. But the word really means the disorder itself is feeling that you're somehow, just something's not right about some part of you. And you can get really obsessed by it and feel very uncomfortable about it. And maybe other people don't even see it. Maybe it's your nose or your eyes or the space at the bridge of your nose or something. Maybe you think it's too thin or it's too wide or whatever it is, right? Something. But what I want to talk about is the degree to which these obsessions with the body maybe really aren't disorders, or maybe they're not even psychological in nature. Maybe they're sociological, sometimes they're about status, sometimes they're just about artistry. Look, as best that we can assess, okay? Now, I know that many of you have a belief in a creationist ideology or a creationist understanding of the origin of life, okay? Which is, fine. I mean, it is, but in the world of science, here what we have this understanding is that the Homo sapiens and Homo erectus, everything starts in Africa, okay, and for what we've now become is Homo erectus, or Homo sapiens. I mean, and it all started in Africa. So in a way, Africa becomes the motherland for all of us, and it starts up in this Nilotic region for Homo sapiens in particular, and then people just start moving out. So we're going to focus on the red, okay, because this is the most recent. This is who we are, the modern humans. And so people leave Africa. First off, they stay inside of Africa, and there's more diversity inside of Africa than between Africans and people in other parts of the world. But then we moved out, and they went north, and people came this way, and then people came over time, migrated this way across the Bering Strait and populated the Americas. And we'll come back to some of this. But the idea is that as people transitioned, there were genetic mutations along the way. And the mutations are either because nature itself selected for certain features. So, as you go north, or as you're in hotter climates, being really taller and thinner, than being short and squat. If you're short and squat, you really retain heat very well. And so if you're in a really cold environment, it's really good for people to be short and squat because they're going to survive. They're going to do really well. They're going to pass their genes on because nature itself, the climate is saying like, hey, we want people who are short and who have this body feature, but as if like our genes are saying this, but in a way that kind of is, and they're gonna thrive better. And so as people move around the planet in different environmental conditions, what we see is that certain features are just better adapted to certain environments. Okay, so then we have these mutations, right? These changes in our features. You know, just like ears. If you ever really want to see something fascinating, line up like 20 or 30 people and just have them all face one direction. And then just go down the lineup and look at their ears. Ears are so vastly different among humans. It's almost like a fingerprint. It's almost as though like no two ears are the same. No two fingerprints are the same. And so, you know, life shifts. Sometimes it's not really the climate that's calling out certain features, but really selection. People in certain areas just are more attracted to certain features of people. And so those features, those people, they really pass their genes on. And then suddenly people start, in particular regions, that feature of that person or that small group of people starts to dominate more. And so it's just like, okay, selection. And sometimes it's just chance. That there's a mutation in our bodies, and it's just chance. Look at just the different features in just this one section of the class, right? So many different features. And so how do we get that way? This is such a fascinating question. And in many ways, you know, like we've been fighting over this, and human beings fight over this, and you know, this is a struggle, right? So we're gonna be talking about some of this today. In the end, whatever features we have, at some point in time in our history, in our family history, those features were essential. So if you feel like, oh man, all of your people, you have really larger than average noses, or thinner than average lips, or larger than average eyes, or really thick eyebrows, or lots of hair on your bodies, or whatever it is, at some point in time, that was essential for your people to survive. Okay? And so when you look in a mirror, what I see when I look in a mirror is just, you know, thousands upon thousands of years of human evolution and just selection and a genetic selection.